Here's a tip. Some machines and online games have higher average payouts than others. Want to try to maximize your odds? Well, do some research online to find games which have the highest RTP or return to player percentage. So now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
They're so close that we're barely going to be getting any value on the plus side of things. I think there's a little bit of value on the Blue Jays today, but it's an awesome division. Like, I don't want to see teams running away and be up by 12 games in first place. We want to see teams constantly battling for first place.
They hit a team total. I love that. So as many times as we get bad beats, you do get the same amount of good beats, typically in your direction, if you wait long enough.
Pro Baseball today, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rim. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of 15.5 points live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency. The pits, the players, the hustlers, the people to bust them, and everybody else in between. The Twisted Tuesday has begun. A Canada Day edition of the program. No rest for the wicked. Well, there's fireworks and barbecues for others. We're bringing the rage and the heat tonight, just like we will on Friday night, a 4th of July special as well. And you've been forewarned. You get 4 hours on Friday night. We're going to be on from 8 o'clock Eastern until midnight on Friday night. And despite the fact that it's the 4th of July, there's actually going to be a lot of games going on. We're going to have a Chelsea elimination game in the FIFA Club World Cup. We're going to have a CFL football, Major League Baseball. It's always happy hour somewhere. We got a lot of stuff going on tonight. The free agent frenzy continues in the National Hockey League and the National Basketball Association. Nothing blockbuster-like from the NBA. A couple of surprises earlier in the day from the National Hockey League. Major League Baseball, though. We got a baseball game coming up in a couple of minutes. So we got one game on the board left that hasn't started tonight. It's the Los Angeles Dodgers against the Chicago White Sox. An opportunity for the Dodgers to continue their run. They just beat up on the Colorado Rockies. Now they get the Chicago White Sox. And they still play the Rockies like another 7 times this year. You can never take anything for granted. You got Yamamoto on the hill here tonight for the Dodgers. I'm actually surprised the number isn't bigger. You know what I mean? Like, this feels like, it's the last game of the night. It's like an isolated game. It's the second worst team in baseball versus the best team in baseball. And it is high. It's minus 360. But it almost feels like this should be like one of those minus 500 type of games. Like, is anybody taking the White Sox? Like, I'm surprised the sports books haven't shaded it a little bit higher. As the Dodgers on the run line, there's been a couple of games this year where the Dodgers on the run line were like minus 200, where it's like, man, that's pretty crazy. It's minus 160. It's more than favorable at minus 160. So that's what we did. We're keeping it simple. We don't have a ton of props because, we're watching this game and that game and stuff. I got the Dodgers in parlays. I got the Dodgers minus 1.5 in an isolated play as well. San Francisco's leading Arizona right now 2-0. KC's up on Seattle 3-0. We got a 6-3 baseball game. The Rockies are losing, shocking. 6-3 Stros right now, 4-2 Cubs over the Guardians. Rangers beating Baltimore 7-2 right now, and the Halos are up 4-0. You know what? The Angels, we told you coming into the season that we like the Angels win total to the over, and it's definitely on pace. I mean, basically they're playing 500 baseball. Are they going to make the playoffs? No. But, they're not a terrible baseball team, but we can pat ourselves on the back for that one. Yet the Oakland Athletics / Sacramento Athletics, whatever the hell they're called, the Athletics Las Vegas, I don't know how they play in Sacramento, and they're not called Sacramento, but there's a lot of things I don't understand about that franchise. We thought they were going to be better. They're not. I was wrong. I haven't been wrong about Dortmund so far, though, tonight. We're on Borussia Dortmund against Monterrey. And those of you paying attention know I've been following this tournament very closely. Before the tournament started, we threw a dart with Dortmund to win. We got it at 25-1. And, the thing with Dortmund was they're a dangerous team to play against. They can match up against everybody. They're not like the top tier type of team. They're like a tier 2 type top team. But they're very tough out. And they had a favorable bracket to get this far. And as we see, the problem is for them, they're going to play Real Madrid after this. But I don't think it's crazy. I don't know. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's see. They got to hang on to this game. But, I think Dortmund could potentially shock the world. Hell, we just saw Al Hilal get it done. And right on cue, Monterrey might have just scored. So let the chaos begin. We'll keep our eye on this. The second half has just started, and it is a goal. So now we got a game suddenly. Borussia Dortmund up 2-1 right now on Monterrey, and we're only in the 47th minute. So the second half has just gotten started. Real Madrid got it done today against Juventus. It wasn't easy, 1-0 final score, but they advance now into the final 8 stage, and they're awaiting the winner of this match tonight. So we'll keep our eye on this, although now I see we got a VAR going on here, and we're stressing it all out. We're sweating it all out here. There's a CEBL game going on right now, the Canadian Elite Basketball League. And I got to tell you, there's been like Canadian basketball leagues over the years. I used to be the color analyst of the ABA, but it wasn't with Dr. J. I wish I could tell you it was. Yeah, I did the Dr. J games and Gervin and the Spurs and stuff. No, it wasn't. It was a circus. So I did ABA basketball, but there's been attempts of like basketball leagues and stuff. We had the commissioner on. Remember Mike Moriali? He's a CFL football legend, ironically enough, but he's a big business like entrepreneur, and he started a basketball league, and it's like good. Like, it's not like, I'm telling you, I'd tell you, whatever, the caliber and stuff. Like, put it in context. They've had 27 players sign in the NBA that played in this league. Like, you do well in this league, you can go to the NBA. Like, AJ Lawson just signed a deal with the Raptors, man, like a 2-year deal with like real money and stuff. Like, he's a Toronto Raptor. He's going to be on the bench, but he's a Toronto Raptor, and he came through this league. Like, basically, you play well in this league, you get a G League spot. You know what I'm saying? Or like, 10-day contract in the NBA. Like, I'm telling you guys, like, this is better than college ball. Like, these guys would beat a college team because, like, they've already played in college. You got a bunch of dudes already played, right? So they're players that are developing. There's only one G League, so there's, you know what I mean? You got to find another league to develop in. But remember, we had the commissioner on. He said, yeah, at first, a lot of American dudes were like, Canadian Basketball League. Like, well, really, how good is that going to be? Yet, like, they see it, and then they see other guys playing in it, and then playing in the NBA after, and they're like, yeah, you know what? I want to play in this league, right? And I can get a shot at the G League or get a 10-day contract in the NBA and get a look from an NBA team. They have the Elam ending here, and it's the first to 99. It's 97-96 right now for Vancouver over the Shooting Stars, who are owned by Drake, actually. You know what? Kendrick should buy a team in this league just to spite Drake. He's got the money to do it. Kendrick Lamar should just be like, yeah, you know what? What, Drake? What? You're telling me Drake owns this team? Oh, yeah? Okay. You know what I mean? I want to buy a team in this league. If I was Kendrick, I'd be on the phone right now if I found out. I'd, like, put it in his ear, actually. It'd be good for the league. I'd, like, tell him. I'd say, yeah, man, Drake owns a team, and they were talking smack about you and stuff. Said that you don't have the real enough money to own your own basketball team. You got get them going. Get them going a little bit here. So it looks like we got a good one going on with Monterey and Borussia. As soon as I started talking about how good Dortmund is, holy crap, this is getting pretty crazy. So it's the first to 99. It's 97-97 right now. Obviously, the clock is off. The game is in Vancouver as well. I've never been to one of their games before. They often play when I'm on the air, but I really got to get out there. The arena looks really cool. It's all packed and stuff. They got great jerseys. The Vancouver Bandits. Looks like a good time. And we'll see. It'll be a better time they can win this game, considering I bet them on them. I have them in a parlay on the money line. We're going to need the next basket here. They go for the 3 here, and they miss the 3. Ugh. Now the Shooting Stars have the ball, and they can win the game with a basket. We did already hit the over here. We posted it on X for you, over 183.5 in-game. And it's 97-97 right now, but it's the first to 99 that wins, and Vancouver get the ball back again. A little bit of drama here. Canada Day edition special. Let's roll.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start, so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're gonna go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's gonna help me get the job done. There is not gonna be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip, try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency. It's a Twisted Tuesday. Some think it would be the dog days of summer. They would be dead wrong. There's always games going on. There's always happy hour somewhere. And in fact, the Women's Euro Cup starts in a couple of days. So there's going to be more soccer during the day now. Got some women's soccer to add to the rotation. It's high-level soccer, too. It's good stuff. Although I like to bet on the under with this Women's Euro Cup and World Cup stuff. But as I say, there's always games going on, and this summer is flying by. We're officially into July now. NFL camps open in 14 days. The Buffalo Bills report July 15th. Vancouver Canuck rookies have already reported for rookie camp. It's like there is no real summer, to be honest. Although it looks like summer tonight, as Borussia Dortmund look pretty hot right now. It's 2-1 in this game. Man, Dortmund could have been up like 4-0. They didn't bury a couple of more chances, but they were dominating. They were up 2-0, and Monterrey fans even kind of turned on their team. Were getting mad. And Monterrey really responded to the start of the second half. They scored a goal like 2 minutes in. And now Dortmund's trying to get another one back. So we got a 2-1 game in the 55th minute right now. Dodgers and the White Sox at Chavez Ravine tonight. The game has started. And I said before the game, Cam, that I thought that the Dodgers, as crazy as it sounds, should have been bigger favorites. I said, I'm surprised the odds makers didn't make this game like minus 500 or something like that. It's the last game of the night. It's the second worst team in baseball against the best team in baseball. Very few people are going to want to bet on the Chicago Cubs tonight. It was minus 360, minus 160 on the run line. And the odds makers have adjusted quickly, guys. The Dodgers just got them down like 1, 2, 3. The Dodgers are now minus 500. And that 1.5 is gone. It's now minus 2.5 right now. This is what I thought it would be before the game. It's funny that all it took was a 1, 2, 3 inning in the top of the first to make them go to this, because we'll find out. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that the Dodgers minus 1.5, minus 160 is a steal tonight, and that's my play in this game.
Couldn't agree more. I think the Dodgers are the play. They got way better pitcher in Yamamoto, better team at home. I thought the line would be like minus 480 as well. And I looked at it and went, wow, I'll put this as a parlay piece with the Blue Jays. I was wrong on the under. Game got a lot of runs, and George Springer gave today 7 RBIs on Canada Day, 2 dingers. Like, it was one of that atmosphere today felt like a playoff style game. And look at the Blue Jays now. They're 1 game back behind the Yankees, and they're making noise, and they're getting along. So this team is the real deal right now, and Berrios pitches tomorrow. They can go up and tie the division lead with a win.
Yeah, the Blue Jays are on fire right now. We'll get into them. But as far as the Dodgers are concerned, so minus 400 right now. The total of the Dodger game is 7.5. They haven't come up to plate yet, so if you want to get in on some of the props, it does feel like Ohtani is going to go deep tonight, doesn't it? I mean, Ohtani seemingly hitting a home run every couple of days now, so I'm not opposed to it. I just sort of limited my prop plays tonight. I will say this, too. And, you got in-game player props still. I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but it kind of feels like I was going to post this on X earlier, that Yamamoto could throw like a no-hitter tonight type deal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Yamamoto's been like, he nearly did it the last game. His last couple of starts, Yamamoto's been like 1 hit, no hit, 5 innings and stuff like that. I think if there's a team that he could just sort of shut down, like, I wouldn't be surprised if the White Sox don't score on him, let alone get a hit. So we'll keep our eye on this. Let's see what the White Sox team total is. The White Sox team total, guys, 2.5. Under. Minus 140 to the over. Under 2.5 is plus 100. Like I said, I think Yamamoto's going to mow him down tonight. So we'll see what the Dodgers offense does, and I think they'll eventually put some runs up here. And I kind of tell you, the Dodgers team total kind of feels light at 4.5. Right? Like, so you're getting Chicago under 2.5 plus 100. Dodgers over 4.5 minus 140 right now. In Los Angeles. We do have other baseball games going on, but nothing else is starting yet. But as far as the late games and the West Coast games are concerned, Kansas City are up 3-0 on Seattle early tonight. Bottom of the second inning, in case he's already up 3-0. The game is locked. We'll get you a number momentarily. San Francisco is up 2-0 on the D-backs right now. But we're going into the bottom of the third. San Francisco are minus 230. Arizona plus 280. The Cubs are up 4-2 on the Guardians. They're 40-1 on the money line right now, guys. The Guardians are plus 1,400, down 2 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning. Astros up 6-4 on the Rockies, but the Rockies got something going on here. And the Rangers rolling the Orioles. I only played the Dodger game tonight, Cam. I don't have any other baseball. Do you?
Yeah, I was wrong with Kansas City last night. I went back to the well. Seattle actually just hit a solo shot, so it's 3-1 now. But I like the price on the Royals tonight. I didn't touch the Giants game. And Gabe, I got a weird feeling that Colorado might win this game against Houston. I'm going to wait for a line live and take them plus 2.5 and sprinkle on the money line because I'm insane.
Yeah, that's quite the feeling. I don't know. Like, they do have runners on first and second. It's the bottom of the fifth. There's 2 out right now. They're plus 350 on the money line. The one underdog, guys, that sort of sticks out to me would be Seattle. As Cam said, they just hit a home run. It's 3-1 right now. They're at home. It's the bottom, it's still early in this game. It's the bottom of the second inning, right? Like, there's a lot of baseball left here, and you're getting plus 200 with the Seattle Mariners right now, down 2 runs. Plus 1.5 is plus 105. But that plus 200, Cam, I think that's not a bad bet, actually. I know you like KC, but just from the principle of it, Seattle's not out of this baseball game. And in fact, today, I bet on the Blue Jays today when they were down 2-0. Because I was like, well, I like the Jays anyways. And just because Toronto gave up 2 early runs doesn't mean they're not going to score. I was worried about how Fried looked. As Fried's really good. And the Blue Jays were having a hard time hitting him until they got the shot, right? But the Blue Jays are just on a roll right now. You know, two strike hits, infield hits. Like, everything is just sort of going their way right now. And then they just blew the effing game open after. The Yankees are starting to fall apart.
Let's get down to business with the particulars. The Pittsburgh Steelers get Jalen Ramsey into their defensive backfield. They'll get Jonnu Smith.
All this talk I'm hearing about they're going to trade T.J. Watt, that's not happening either. Okay, so I don't think that's even remotely in the cards. All this talk today, he's next. I don't believe that. I think they're going to give him a new deal.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
I do believe that SJ now is the #1 player in the world. The things that he can do from the point of attack, offensively and defensively, his ability to drive downhill and score at all 3 levels. And the thing I like most about this young man at 26, he's so humble. He's so humble. And that speaks to the whole culture of OKC that Sam Presti and Mark Daigneault has built. Humble team, folks.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Will Aaron Judge be at the top of the home run board in MLB? What say you?
Judge probably is going to hit 55, 58. Somewhere around there is his number there. So I'll say I'm going to buy this. And Aaron Judge will lead the major leagues in home runs this year. Listen, I'm not breaking news. I probably would take that every year. And when he plays, this next couple until he's getting up there in age, until his bat does start to slow down.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Kevin Durant, at the age of 36 years old, after 17 seasons that he has played in the NBA DRS, is now on his way to H-Town.
I don't think it's a great move. I wanted him to go to a ready-made championship team full of a veteran roster and see if he can ring chase that way. Not to go to an organization on the come-up that if you just stay the course, and also, what better blueprint do we have than just staying the course than OKC, right?
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
The Twisted Tuesday continues. This is SportsRage. I am Morency. We're into the 64th minute right now. Dortmund up 2-1 on Monterrey. So we got the German Bundesliga versus the Mexican Liga tonight. Good job by Monterrey to get this far in this tournament. They were down 2-0. Now it's 2-1 right now. And we've seen a lot of upsets. And in fact, here's Monterrey on a somewhat breakaway right now. And right on cue, as I talk about it, Monterrey just scores.
Wow.
Dortmund are claiming that it's offside, and the referee seemingly is agreeing right now. Wow. Dortmund are lucky. Dortmund are lucky. Monterrey are coming on right now. And let's see the replay here. Is it offside? Yeah, it kind of looks offside here. They're probably going to go to the VAR here, but yeah, he's offside. He's offside. It's one of those, like, Dortmund are freaking lucky, like, because it didn't really affect the play. It just happened to be, like, half a foot ahead of everybody. That's what I'm talking about with soccer offside. It's very arbitrary and frustrating, but as somebody with Dortmund, I'll take it. Good call, ref. Good call. Right on top of it. Right on top of it.
I was just gonna say, if the goal stood, I'm like, what were these guys when they're down 2-0? Probably a pretty hefty price for a draw or a comeback. That'd be monstrous.
Oh yeah. Dortmund were like minus 1,200 or something like that at one point. Like they were minus 1,000. Well, you know what? Like Monterrey are coming on right now. And I think it's the heat too. Like I said, Dortmund seemingly were handling the heat early pretty well. They were really flying around the pitch and stuff, but you could tell like they're visibly slowing down right now. And Monterrey from Mexico seemingly are dealing with this a little bit better. They're pressing right now, but that was a hell of a play from Monterrey. So we'll keep our eye on this. There's been a lot of upsets in this tournament. We had a good one today with Real Madrid and Juventus. Real Madrid survive barely, but they win the game 1-0 today. And as Cam mentioned earlier in the day today, Toronto Blue Jays were plus 140 underdogs against Max Fried and the New York Yankees. And considering how hot the Jays are and knowing that it was the Canada Day special, even though ironically enough, the Jays aren't very good on Canada Day. They generally don't win over the years. But the stadium last night, 40,000 plus, whatever, 43,000, whatever it was. Tonight, earlier today, sold out, the Canada Day game. They're catching up to the Yankees. They win, they came in today only 2 back. There's just this big buzz in Toronto right now, and the Yankees aren't playing that well. So they, you were betting on Fried alone, basically, there in that spot. And as Kurtz brought up last night when we were talking about the Yankees, that middle relief is a problem for them. So once you get to the Yankees bullpen, and I was thinking about that earlier during the game when they were down, I'm like, you know what? This is going to be tough to hit Fried, but if they can just get Fried out of there, they can get to them. But another win today for the Toronto Blue Jays in a type of game that in past they would have lost, Cam. Right? Oh, we're down early. Oh, okay, we scored, but they're coming back, and this is tough, and you know what? We're doing well, and we can get a split in this series still. But no, like they come up with like 2 strike, 2 out hits. Like I said, the home run today was with 2 out. The Yankees punch back. Springer hits the grand slam after. Like these guys are rolling right now, and it's one of those like 1 through 9 that everybody believes, everybody's contributing. They really do have a good team chemistry. Everybody's contributing right now, and they're on a roll. We'll see if they can pull off a sweep and be in first place by the end of the week. That might be asking a lot, but that's what I'd be gunning for if I was the Blue Jays. 1 game at a time, but win again tomorrow.
Yeah, no, and another thing, Gabe, the bottom of half of the order, these guys are doing great things. They're getting on base. Ernie Clement had an error. He's one of the best fielders. Yankees tie it up. He goes up and hits a huge single to give these guys the lead again. And another thing is, I don't know what's going on with the Yankees, but your catcher in the interference, that's 2 games in a row. It changed the whole game, Gabe. Like, people don't know how big that call was. Because
yeah, I'm surprised Boone doesn't tell him back, hey, bro, sit back a couple inches. You're too close.
Like, what are you doing? No, he's done it. Gabe, he's doing it all the like that is a simple thing. Like, even on the broadcast, like, what the hell is this guy doing? Like, that they all know he swings late. Barger's one of those guys. He waits late to swing, and that catcher's done. Like, he's just, what are you, man? And then it gave the Jays another life, and after that, bam! Then the Springer grand slam, and the rest is history.
But when you watch the Jays play every inning, like if you know, I mean, for people that don't watch the Jays and the Yankees and the American League East, if you watch the Yankees, they're really not very good. It's kind of baffling that they won as many games as they do because Aaron Judge hits a lot of home runs.
let's get down to business with the particulars. The Pittsburgh Steelers will get Jalen Ramsey into their defensive backfield. They'll get Jonnu Smith.
All this talk I'm hearing about they're going to trade TJ Watt, that's not happening either. Okay, so I don't think that's even remotely in the cards. All this talk today, he's next. I don't believe that. I think they're going to give him a new deal.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
I do believe that SJ now is the number one player in the world. The things that he can do from the point of attack, offensively and defensively, his ability to drive downhill and score at all three levels. And the thing about I like most about this young man at 26, he's so humble. He's so humble. And that speaks to the whole culture of OKC that Sam Presti and Mark Daigneault has built. Humble team, folks.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Will Aaron Judge be at the top of the home run board in MLB? What say you?
Judge probably is going to hit 55, 58. Somewhere around there is his number there. So I'll say I'm going to buy this. And Aaron Judge will lead the major leagues in home runs this year. Listen, I'm not breaking news. I probably would take that every year. And when he plays these next couple until he's getting up there in age, until his bat does start to slow down.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Kevin Durant, at the age of 36 years old, after 17 seasons that he has played in the NBA DRS, is now on his way to H-Town.
I don't think it's a great move. I wanted him to go to a ready-made championship team full of a veteran roster and see if he can ring chase that way. Not to go to an organization on the come-up that if you just stay the course, and also, what better blueprint do we have than just staying the course than OKC, right?
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Let's roll. The Twisted Tuesday continues. Canada Day edition. I am Gabriel Morency. This is SportsRage, SportsGrid Radio and Television Network, Sirius XM Channel 159. The Dodgers are up 4-0 after the first inning of play. And now, as I stated, the odds makers probably wish they would have hung a minus 650 or something up to scare people away in this game. I didn't understand why minus 160 on the minus 160 was the minus 1.5 price. For this game. Now, it's still early here, but it is 4-0. And for the record, it wasn't Ohtani and it wasn't Freeman. Betts not in the lineup tonight. So Ohtani batting leadoff, Freeman's batting second tonight. They didn't do anything. Will Smith batting third, got on a walk. Max Muncy, who's been super, scorching hot, he ends up walking. Then Teoscar Hernandez comes through with an RBI. Andy Paz comes through with an RBI, and Conforto comes through with 2 RBIs. Paz has had a double. Conforto singles in 2 runs. So the Dodgers are up 4-0, and you got Yamamoto on the hill. So good luck if you're the Chicago White Sox right now. And for you wondering about the new number right now, the Dodgers, dear God, the Dodgers went from minus 360 to minus 8,000. That's quite the jump at 4-0 right now. They're minus 8,000 on the money line. And they're on the run line. The Dodgers are now minus 5.5. The total is 11.5. So the Dodgers rolling early here. Mariners still down 3-1 right now, but they got a runner on first base. They're paying plus 170 right now. I think they're the live dog to potentially come back this evening. And you've got Dortmund up 2-1 in the 74th minute right now. So as we mentioned, the Toronto Blue Jays, an emotional game today, sold out stadium. You've got, you got 50,000 plus in there. And the Blue Jays fans have come a long way since crying and wanting everybody fired because, we couldn't sign Juan Soto. And I don't know why they thought they were going to get Juan Soto in the first place. But there was a lot of crying about, they didn't get Ohtani. They didn't get Soto. And I told people before the year started, I say, they have the 4th highest payroll in baseball. There's not really much more they can do. I mean, the organization. Say what you will about Rodgers, all right? They charge a hell of a lot for their cable and their cell phones. And they're merciless when you owe them money. There's no give me a couple of days. It's like, no. I've been a customer 18 years. Yeah, well, they're ruthless. But you can't say they don't try to win with the Blue Jays. Like they do. Like they do.
But know what the thing is too? They're doing this without Santander. Bo Bichette's hurt. Other guys too in the line.
Yeah.
Like, take a look. All these young guys are coming up. Davis Schneider. I'm looking at this team going, wow. Like all these young kids are really.
Barger.
Ernie Clement's awesome. Yeah, Barger's wicked. Like that's what I'm saying. Like
I like Clement. I confused Davis Schneider once when you were talking about Clement being really good. I'm like, yeah, he's all right. But I thought you were talking about Davis Schneider. Schneider's all right. The little underachiever guy, he's all right. You know what I mean? That's why I was like, yeah, he's not that good. I'm like, he's all right.
Schneider reminds me of Schneider with his mustache.
He's all right batting 8th or 9th. Schneider's the type of guy. It's like, hey, Schneider, you're up 8th in the lineup tonight. Get in there. Let's go.
You know what I mean? Get a walk, Schneider. But the thing is,
he's a hustler. His mustache, his little arms. He's like a little Popeye. He's a short like guy. He's got these Popeye arms. He's got the mustache. He's like,
the Jays got some characters on their team. That's for sure.
But you know what's good about the Jays? They got a bunch of dudes, guys, like Cam's talking about, like the Clements, the Bargers, even the Schneiders. They're not like young prospects, but they're young. They're hungry. Like they've taken a while to develop type of guys. They're like, yeah, you know what? He's 28, but he's been in our system, but I don't know. He's suddenly really good. And it's one of those type of deals. So you got all these players on the Jays that are happy to be in the big leagues. They're happy to be they want to make money. They want to produce. They want to become like millionaires and be big league ball players. And that rubs off on sort of the vets, guys that are already rich, like Guerrero and Springer and stuff, right? But, when everyone remembers San Diego, I talked about it. You got too many rich guys in a room. Everyone's rich. No one cares. It's like, whatever, dude. Like, I got $300 million. You got $300 million. Yeah, we're losing. It's like an NIL college football team. Mm-hmm. When Texas A&M was the first ones, they had all the money. And I told people, it'll be a disaster. I said, you think if a kid on a college football team is making like $3 million a year, that he's really going to care if he loses the game after? And I was right. You see like players on Alabama were doing videos on TikTok after they lost the bowl game to Michigan, right? Like it was just like the game was over and hey, whatever, dude, I made a bunch of money this year. So you got to be careful with that. You got to sort of get the right, the right chemistry of, you can't just have everybody. Like even the Dodgers, look at the Dodgers. The Dodgers could have all-stars at every position. But you'll notice it's like, no, man, like we're going to give this Pius kid a chance. We're going to give this, we're going to give, we're going to give Vargas a chance. We're going to give this pitcher a chance because it keeps everybody else, hungry. We can't always just have like star players. We got to have role players. It's smart to like blend these guys in. You can't just have one of anything on any team.
Couldn't agree more. And another thing is what, basically, Springer said after the interview with the 7 RBIs, is like, these young guys are inspiring me. They're doing their job. You know what I mean? That Springer's an old guy. And look at the way he's playing. Like, he's absolutely on fire. And I'll tell you, Gabe, another thing that the Jays have, and we talked about this on the other show, Little, Fisher, they have 2 really good young relievers. And we talk about the Yankees having flaws in the relieving position. So this team is really starting to come together. And, they got a great mix. Old, young, hungry. That's what you need.
What they have as well is money. So this is going to help them come the trade deadline. The Blue Jays are aggressive. Say what you will about them, but they are aggressive. I remember when they signed Jimenez, I told everybody, we can look it up on X. I said, this is a great effing signing. And I tell you what, I didn't think the guy could hit like he could. I don't think the Blue Jays thought he could hit like he could. I think the Blue Jays thought, man, we're getting like the best defensive second baseman in the American League. I don't think they thought, he's going to have like 13, 14 home runs or whatever already and big hits and play with a passion and a fire. Like, that was a really nice signing. And like Cam said, Santander's been a bust. I mean, they gave him all this money. He hasn't done anything for them this year, and he got hurt. Bo Bichette is sort of hit or miss, you know what I mean? But maybe this will really get Bo going too, and they can re-sign him and the party continue. But massive party today. Down there. What a game for George Springer. He had 2 home runs and 7 RBIs today, including a grand slam.
what a night. And I'll tell you, Gabe, like you're really, like, as I said, people were worried coming into the year, like, is Springer damaged goods? Is he going to do anything? He's an old guy now. And look what he's doing for this team. He's on fire, man. And it's just, there's just a real good chemistry up and down the line right now. Even Big John Stud's making the right calls in the bullpen.
Yeah, Max Scherzer looked good last night, right? If the Scherzer continues, it could, just give them 4 or 5 innings to start.
Exactly. Imagine
Hell, give
Scherzer.
him 4 innings. In the modern baseball, when a 5's asking a lot, just go through the lineup twice. Go through, you know what I mean? Go through the lineup twice. Give us 4 innings, and we'll get you out of there.
If Scherzer can give 4 to 5 and give up 3 earned runs or under, it's just like one of those starts, and we'll be okay. And that's what they're saying. We don't expect anything special. He's got so many injuries, but no, I like the signing. They got him for nothing, and the young relievers have been fantastic. So, no, I'm very excited. And the Rays lost today, by the way, as well. They lost to the Athletics. So the Jays pick up on the Yankees. They pick up on the Rays today. Very good day for the Blue Jays.
What's good for the Jays, too, is you just keep on racking up the wins. And, it's fun to get caught up in the standings and stuff, and it's super early in the season, right? But there's levels to this. The July 1st, August 1st, September 1st. But it inspires the fans when they see the standings. But if you're the Jays, you don't really worry about first place, almost like a golfer. Don't worry about the leaderboard. Just keep, do your thing, and everything will fall into place. And the Jays are racking up wins and building a little cushion in the wild card right now as well.
Let's get down to business with the particulars. The Pittsburgh Steelers will get Jalen Ramsey into their defensive backfield. They'll get Jonnu Smith.
All this talk I'm hearing about they're going to trade TJ Watt, that's not happening either. Okay, so I don't think that's even remotely in the cards. All this talk today, he's next. I don't believe that. I think they're going to give him a new deal.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
I do believe that SJ now is the #1 player in the world. The things that he can do from the point of attack, offensively and defensively, his ability to drive downhill and score at all 3 levels. And the thing I like most about this young man at 26, he's so humble. He's so humble. And that speaks to the whole culture of OKC that Sam Presti and Mark Daigneault has built. Humble team, folks.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Will Aaron Judge be at the top of the home run board in MLB? What say you? Judge probably is going to hit 55, 58. Somewhere around there is be his number there. So I'll say I'm going to buy this. And Aaron Judge will lead the major leagues in home runs this year. Listen, I'm not breaking news. I probably would take that every year. And when he plays, these next couple until he's getting up there in age, until his bat does start to slow down.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Kevin Durant, at the age of 36 years old, after 17 seasons that he has played in the NBA DRS, is now on his way to H-Town.
I don't think it's a great move. I wanted him to go to a ready-made championship team full of a veteran roster and see if he can ring chase that way. Not to go to an organization on the come-up that if you just stay the course, and also, what better blueprint do we have than just staying the course and okay, safe, right?
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency. The Pistol Players, the Hustlers, the people that bust them, everybody else in between. 84th minute, Dortmund's up. Dortmund's up. All right, Andrew McKinnis is a Canada Day scratch, for shame. Yeah. Softer than Mitch Marner. Let's bring in.
I love it.
Hey, you're free to go and do your thing. Just give us a heads up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Give us a heads up.
On a boat.
We're sitting here waiting for McKinnis, and this guy's like recovering from a golf outing. And it went from he wasn't feeling well to then, he really went golfing. And, we know how that went. Like, you know what I mean? Even the crew in Master Control in New Jersey was like, this guy's, like, obviously, like, not telling us the truth. It's Canada Day. Like, I don't feel well. I don't feel. You don't feel well because all the drinks, McInnes. That's why you don't feel well. But we wish you the best. That's why we bring George Kurtz in. He's just high on Pepsi, sugar.
Yeah, sugar high.
What's going on, George? And we were talking about the Yankee game today. Another big win for the Toronto Blue Jays today, Kurtz. They're really they're knocking on the door. They've cut the lead to 1.
Remember last night you asked me, you thought I'd be ticked off because the Yankees lost here, and I told you no, because that's how they play. It's what they do. Today's another example. It was just a carbon copy. Jazz Chisholm, a couple more mistakes at third base. It's a joke. Yankees are 1 for 14 runners in scoring position. Boone's bringing on Mark Leiter, who has I think third to worst WHIP in the in Major League Baseball as far as putting runners on base at a tie game in the 6th inning. It's like you can see all this coming. The Yankees are just they're not a good team. They're an okay team. They're not a good team. It is what it is, and nothing's going to change. The
What's
Yankees
the catcher doing too, George? That's unheard of. 2 games in a row. Catcher interference.
Last year for playing like crap and losing Game 5, the Yankees got upset because Kiki Hernandez and was it Joe Kelly criticized them. You would have thought maybe they would have learned their lesson. They were good for a couple of months, and now we're getting all back to the bad habits.
They're just so poor defensively. It's just shocking. Like, any time a ball is in play, you must just hold your breath. Like, it just becomes a massive adventure all the time. Catcher interference. It's just sort of one bad thing after another at every position, right? Like, and the thing is, if you're a pitcher, it gets frustrating. Right, you know what I mean? Like, at some point, you can't show it because everyone's going to notice that you're getting mad. You can't pull the old Noah Syndergaard and start throwing your glove or, and giving people the evil eye. But if you're a pitcher, like, it's, you start to think, I got to strike these people out because if they hit it in the play, God knows what's going to happen. And then they start to overthink, and it's a domino effect. That's a problem there, right? Hey, you guys got to score runs, George. If you didn't know, that's the thing with the Yankees. And how about this now for the Toronto Blue Jays? They are now Major League best, 34-3 on the season when they score 5 or more runs. Not like 7 or 8 or more runs, 5 or more runs. That's an incredible stat that they have going on right there. Very, very impressive.
You bring up the Yankees, and one of the reasons why I was worried about them signing Max Fried was because I don't think Fried is good. I do, but he puts balls in play. All right, and they won't move Jazz Chisholm off third base, although granted, the Yankee beat writers now are starting to get on Boone. You heard one ask today, listen, have you thought about putting Jazz back at second base? The problem is if they do that, they don't have a third baseman. There's no third baseman on the Yankee roster. None. All right, DJ LeMahieu can't play third. Peraza, he's a shortstop. He can play third, but he can't hit. All right, he's batting like 160-something here. So either way, they're screwed. It's just weird that the Yankees went into the season without a third baseman. I know they tried to get Arenado, and he didn't want to. They didn't want to take on the contract. He's done now anyway. But they don't have a third baseman. But at this point, they're moving Jazz to second base. Use his athleticism. At least you'll be good there. Goldschmidt's a pretty good defensive first baseman. Your left side is not good. I mean, Volpe leads the Major League Baseball in errors, and you don't have a third baseman. So you're going to suffer there somewhat. But you would have thought Cashman would have put more thought into their defense, which is right now is not good. But I think Cashman also thought, well, we're going to have Cole, strikeout guy, Heel, strikeout guy. We don't need to have great defense. Problem is they're both out, and you have a lot of contact pitches in there.
Yeah, the road to hell was paved with good intentions. George Kurtz with us, Cam Stewart with us. I'm Gabriel Morency. All right, if we can, guys, give me the Mitch Marner best of X. Let's go with the best of X. Mitch Marner arrives in Las Vegas, Nevada, and they rolled out the red carpet for Vegas style. What do you notice about this? We'll play it again after here.
Struggling.
Look at him put the jersey on. I've never seen a pro hockey player have a hard time putting the jersey on. Look at him. He's like, all right. It's like he's fighting with it. Here, look at him here. Like, oh, God. I can't get down with the last sleeve.
I think he was
struggling. Yes.
I think he was trying to be neat rather than just throw it on.
Yeah.
Like most people just because it's a weird way to put a jersey on for a guy, right? We just throw the damn thing off.
It's like, he had his arm hanging. So he got to get his arm in after. It's like, dude, have you ever put a hockey jersey on? Like he had it over his neck. He was all like he was fighting with it to get it on. Like,
I think he was just trying to be neat.
You know?
It looked like one of my daughters putting on one of their things.
You know what, though? All kidding aside, a lot of people, like especially Leaf fans, are like, oh, look how corny and cheesy that is and stuff. Players like that, right? They had the entire organization there in the office, the cheerleaders, a band, the mascot for the family and the kid and stuff. And I wasn't kidding. Like I said, you play for the Toronto Maple Leafs, you sign, and then they tell you, all right, go downstairs and face a bunch of jackass, like lizard media types who are going to be in your face. And, you know, so Mitch, do you really think you're worth $8 million, $12 million a year? Huh? Like, why do you think you should be like, you know, seriously,
lizard media types. I love it. It's just amazing.
Saw a story today. Like the fans were throwing garbage on his lawn after the playoffs this year. It's like
come on,
what is this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why do Leaf fans think you guys are so special that somehow we should win more than everyone else?
Let's get down to business with the particulars. The Pittsburgh Steelers will get Jalen Ramsey into their defensive backfield. They'll get Jonnu Smith.
All this talk I'm hearing about they're going to trade TJ Watt, that's not happening either. Okay, so I don't think that's even remotely in the cards. All this talk today, he's next. I don't believe that. I think they're going to give him a new deal.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
I do believe that SJ now is the #1 player in the world. The things that he can do from the point of attack, offensively and defensively, his ability to drive downhill and score at all three levels. And the thing I like most about this young man at 26, he's so humble. He's so humble. And that speaks to the whole culture of OKC that Sam Presti and Mark Daigneault has built. Humble team, folks.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Will Aaron Judge be at the top of the home run board in MLB? What say you?
Judge probably is going to hit 55, 58. Somewhere around there is his number there. So I'll say I'm going to buy this. And Aaron Judge will lead the major leagues in home runs this year. Listen, I'm not breaking news. I probably would take that every year. And when he plays, this next couple until he's getting up there in age, until his bat does start to slow down.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Kevin Durant, at the age of 36 years old, after 17 seasons that he has played in the NBA DRS, is now on his way to H-Town.
I don't think it's a great move. I wanted him to go to a ready-made championship team full of a veteran roster and see if he can ring chase that way. Not to go to an organization on the come-up that if you just stay the course, and also, what better blueprint do we have than just staying the course and okay, safe, right?
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I'm Morency. I'm still getting over the Mitch Marner putting the jersey on. He puts it on. Like, the fact that he didn't get his arm in and he was like, oh, he's got to get his arm in after just killed me. It was corny and it was cheesy how he took his baby and he's running around the room with it. Like the cheerleaders are cheering. Right? But, like, that's the difference, right? You go there and now he's going to leave and there'll be no like miserable post about him in Vegas. And like, I saw this today, and this was from Corey Landsberg.
It's
eventually
honestly,
be like, why do I want to play for these people? Like, you know what I mean? Look what they think about me online. Like, calling me a terrible person, throwing things on my lawn after playoff games. Like, what the hell? Why would I want to stay here?
That's the whole thing, too. What guys go, not just the taxes, but the Leafs media are just, and they're never like positive. It's just always an issue with everything. There's a million of them there. They have to deal with so many guys. I remember when I covered Sundin and his crew were out the back door. There's like, we're not dealing with this crap anymore, right? Like, it's just, we're sick and tired of it. And that's the whole thing. It's the culture. Go to Vegas. Yeah, you deal with a few guys. It's cool. Good place to live. Like, you know, I that's the whole thing, Gabe. And you said it. I'm a Maple Leaf fan, but I don't think the Toronto Maple Leafs are some, oh, come play for us. We're the gods of hockey. No, Montreal has a legacy of more Stanley Cups and whatever, and it's intense there. But the thing about Toronto is they think they're like this be-all and end-all. Oh, everyone wants to play there. I know guys personally. You do too. They said, thank God I don't have to play here anymore because I get way less pressure.
Look when the Russian kid came from Russia to play for the Canadians last year. Canadian fans applauded him at that airport in Toronto.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they were like positive. It's like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, Montreal, I tell you guys, and it didn't used to be that way. And I got to be honest, maybe it was my fault. I was part of the negative media when I was there. But the media in Montreal used to be like very mean-spirited and negative. And now they're not. It's very, very positive. And I think it helps, actually, guys. I think the Canadians are sort of that one team where players are like you said, George, like playing for the Yankees. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, I'm there for a couple of years. Like I say, I played for the Canadians. You know, you go through that sort of pressure and sort of experience the arena and the fans and everything. But players like it, and they see the team is good, right? So it's like, yeah, you know what? I'll be part of that. The fans, you know, they're all very positive there and stuff. Like, it can get overly negative, but the biggest surprise today to me, guys, was, speaking of negative, the Vancouver Canucks. Dude, Pavel Bure could be reincarnated in his prime, and they'd bitch. You know, oh, he's a clone. It's not the same. Like, they complain no matter what. But even Canuck fans were surprised pleasantly that Brock Besser returned, George. And, you know, the Canucks re-signed Thatcher Demko, 3-year deal. I thought it was a perfect term for both sides. They got Connor Garland coming back. You got Brock Besser coming back. Adam Foote was named head coach because Quinn Hughes wanted him to be named head coach. So Hughes is happy. He's best friends with Besser. If the Canucks can stay healthy, I think people forget 2 years ago, bro, they went to the second round and went 7 games with the Edmonton Oilers who went to the Cup, man. Like, the Canucks are good when they're healthy.
Oh, I agree. I think there's a lot of talent there. I mean, you did lose JT Miller, okay, so that's going to be tough. But I like the Canucks. I don't think they're a bad team. I think they're above average team. But you said the key thing there. Got to stay healthy. And I know every team can say that, but maybe the Canucks need that more than most. Got to stay healthy, and they need to figure out how to get the best out of Elias Pettersson, right? You got to figure out what happened there. Why? I mean, even after the JT Miller went bye-bye, they still didn't get a lot out of him. They need him to be at his best.
No, he really does. For the amount, listen, if he didn't make so much money, it wouldn't be such a problem. But he makes $12 million a year. It's like, dude, you're one of the highest paid players in the league. You got to play like it. And he did until he got the contract. Right? That's been the problem with him. But the JT Miller stuff, I don't think Tocchet was able. It was clear Tocchet couldn't fix it. Right? So we'll see. Because, yeah, you're right. This is gut check time for EP40. And I've been a defender of his, but. And I tell you what, he disappeared for Sweden, too. He seemed disinterested, even playing for his country, which was bizarre. Everybody thought, oh, let's see what he does now with Sweden. He did nothing with them.
let's get down to business with the particulars. The Pittsburgh Steelers will get Jalen Ramsey into their defensive backfield. They'll get Jonnu Smith.
All this talk I'm hearing about they're going to trade TJ Watt, that's not happening either. Okay, so I don't think that's even remotely in the cards. All this talk today, he's next. I don't believe that. I think they're going to give him a new deal.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
I do believe that SJ now is the number one player in the world. The things that he can do from the point of attack, offensively and defensively, his ability to drive downhill and score at all three levels. And the thing I like most about this young man at 26, he's so humble. He's so humble. And that speaks to the whole culture of OKC that Sam Presti and Mark Daigneault has built. Humble team, folks.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Will Aaron Judge be at the top of the home run board in MLB? What say you? Judge probably is going to hit 55, 58. Somewhere around there is be his number there. So I'll say I'm going to buy this. And Aaron Judge will lead the major leagues in home runs this year. Listen, I'm not breaking news. I probably would take that every year. And when he plays this next couple until he's getting up there in age, until his bat does start to slow down.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Kevin Durant, at the age of 36 years old, after 17 seasons that he has played in the NBA DRS, is now on his way to H-Town.
I don't think it's a great move. I wanted him to go to a ready-made championship team full of a veteran roster and see if he can ring chase that way. Not to go to an organization on the come-up that if you just stay the course, and also, what better blueprint do we have than just staying the course than OKC, right?
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Level 2 has begun. This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency. The pits, the players, the hustlers, the people, the bust them, and everybody else in between. The Twisted Tuesday rolls on. We got Rick Saratella joining us later. It's Football Tuesdays. We're now just 65 days away from NFL kickoff. The first Thursday night game of the year. NFL regular season starts 65 days from now. We're into week 5 of the CFL. Right now, college football starts August 23rd. So football is in the air. And the other football game just came to a conclusion. Borussia Dortmund advance. They win 2-1 against Monterrey. That's the good news for our future for Dortmund. The bad news is they got to play Real Madrid after. And on top of that, if they win that game, they got to pay the winner of PSG and Bayern Munich. I really should have thought this through, but when I bet on Dortmund.
It happens. I'm looking at my golf picks the same way. I'm like, what? What am I doing? Those are tough teams, man. Like, that's tough. If they actually win, that'd be shocking.
They could get through. Like, you know, I mean, they could get through. It's going to be tough. Like, they have a shot against Real Madrid. Real Madrid are only minus 143 favorites. So to put in context, they're not that big of favorites. Dortmund are a really good team, but it'll be tough to get through PSG or Bayern Munich after the fact. And on the other side, you kind of got a cupcake side, with all due respect. You got Fluminense, Al Hilal, Palmeiras, and Chelsea.
Yeah, I wish you were on that bracket.
It's a very slanted bracket, but we knew this coming in for the most part, actually. And my whole thought was, all right, if they can just sort of go deep, maybe I can get myself into a hedge situation. I got them at 25-1, but the odds makers really aren't budging on Dortmund, knowing their tough bracket. But I tell you what, if somehow they get through the next 2 matches and they make it to the final and stuff, I think they have a pretty good chance of winning if they can get that far. Let's bring in Dave Delano right now as the Dodgers hit the pick.com. Dave Delano, Get Sports Strong on X. Dave, the Dodgers are getting strong right now. They keep on playing bad teams. They racked it up against Colorado. Now they get a shot against the White Sox right now. They're 12-3 in their last 15. They're up 5-0 right now in the bottom of the third. I said before the game, Dave, as crazy as the line was high, I said, I'm surprised it's not like minus 500 tonight. I thought Dodgers minus 1.5 was a steal at minus 160 tonight.
Yeah, I mean, the White Sox had a pretty solid starter going, but they're such a bad team. And right now we're seeing, even for me, I'm doing well in Major League Baseball, taking more favorites than I normally like to, but more than anything, I mean, I like to win plays, and there's been a lot of these games, some lopsided matchups like we see, the Dodgers, the White Sox. I mean, this entire series. Right now, you got the Astros are hot. They're taking on the Rockies, and sometimes you see these big numbers, but you don't want to overthink it too much. Try to get too. Sometimes you just got to take the easy money, man. I want to say nothing's easy, but sometimes don't overcomplicate things. I completely agree with you. The White Sox had a little bit of a win streak coming in, but Dodgers are just a different animal.
5-0. And you're right. The thing is, everybody wants to get cute. You try to find this and that, but there's nothing wrong with betting on good teams and betting against bad teams in any sport, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I get it. People always, the live dog, this and that. And yeah, it'll hit every once in a while. But I mean, Colorado are historically bad. Chicago were historically bad last year, and they're not that much better this year. Like, they're still historically bad. It's just Colorado happened to be worse. Right. So, you sort of just why not take advantage of it? The Yankees aren't historically bad, but they're not hot right now. They were pretty big favorites, and the Blue Jays are hot right now, Dave. We've been talking a lot about this series tonight. Blue Jays have now cut the lead to 1 game in the American League East. They got great team chemistry. They're winning baseball games despite having a lot of injuries, and things are really coming together for the Jays. They cash a ticket today as plus 140 underdogs.
Yeah, I like the Jays coming. I didn't think that the Jays would be this good, but I like their season win total coming into this season. They were a little bit, they were really undervalued. I thought the Orioles were overvalued. But in a series like this, you're always paying a tax with the Yankees. I mean, you've got the image of, obviously Aaron Judge is having another historical season, but there's a lot of inconsistencies beyond that, even with the pitching. And, people think Yankees, they think a lot of runs, even though they just played, about 16 straight unders that had just recently got broken a couple games ago. And, they're still up there in first, but, the Blue Jays are right there. The Rays are right there. And it's going to be interesting. We're definitely going to see some shakeups at the deadline with that pressure in New York. You wonder how long the Blue Jays can keep this up. But when they're playing head-to-head, they're not scared of them. They're rivals, and the value is more times than not going to be on the side of the Blue Jays in these matchup. And when the Yankees run into the Rays, it's going to be the same thing. The value is usually not going to be on the side of the Yankees.
Barrios on the hill tomorrow, guys. Plus 110. Blue Jays underdogs again. Warren, a favorite for the Yankees, minus 130. Total 8.5. The total was 8 today. And earlier in the game, it was like lower scoring. And I was thinking, you know what? This could be one of these games with Fried, where it's going to be hard to get to, but the Blue Jays are just tearing the cover off the ball. And it was such a hot day, a nice day in Toronto today. And that stadium's supposed to be a hitter-friendly park, right? And the Blue Jays haven't taken advantage of it over the past couple of years since they moved the fences in for whatever reason. They hit less home runs, but they're starting to get into a groove in this new park right now and the new elements. So, as we stated, Warren is a minus 130 favorite tomorrow. Barrios plus 110. We got afternoon baseball tomorrow. You mentioned the Rays. And one thing with the Rays, guys, moving forward, they play 49 of their first 57 games at home this year. So they're going to have a lot of road games moving forward in the second half of the season. We'll see if it catches up to them. I don't know. They seem to be invincible, this Rays team. But updated division numbers right now for the American League East. The Blue Jays last night, guys, were plus 650 after the win. After today's win, they're plus 475. The number's really coming down. The Yankees are minus 250. The Rays are plus 400. The Blue Jays are plus 475. I thought the Red Sox would be better. They're not. And the Orioles are terrible. If you had to bet, Dave, there's obviously no value at minus 250 with the Yankees. Would you rather have the Rays at plus 400 or the Blue Jays at plus 475?
I'll take the Blue Jays. Obviously, the obvious thing, you've got a better price there and the option for the Rays to make some moves at the deadline. And the Blue Jays to make some moves at the deadline. Like you just pointed out with the Rays, good point. They're used to playing indoors so much. They had damage to the stadium, so they're playing at Steinbrenner Stadium. the Yankees spring training park, which is outdoor because of that Tampa weather. The Major League Baseball front-loaded their schedule at home, so they're going to be playing a lot of road games. And like I said, you don't know how it's going to catch up to them, but you got better odds on the Blue Jays, better odds as far as the Blue Jays being more of a long shot, so you could get a bigger bang for your buck. So I would take the Blue Jays over the Rays and over the Yankees. I mean, the Yankees, minus 250, not really a good price of how they're playing right now, even if they do win the division. Something in the minus 200s. Not a good play for the Yankees right now, in my opinion.
And to put in context, guys, so the Tampa Bay Rays have already played 52 home games this year. Think about that, 52 home games. So they've got what? They got 29 home games left. That's pretty crazy. July 1st, they got 29 home games left the rest of the year. Like, you know, they played 52. Like, in context, the Jays have played 43 home games. The Tampa have only played 34 road games so far this year. So they've got like a lot of traveling to do.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip, try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Dave Delano in the house with us. I am Gabriel Morency, and Dave, you bet on the WNBA, right? You dip your toes into the WNBA. You notice online there's a big like freak out because Caitlin Clark is voted 9th by the players in the WNBA All-Star player voting, and Caitlin Clark is, yes, there's no doubt she's the most popular player in the WNBA. But she's not the best player in the WNBA. And Like, people are like, oh, they hate her, and this just proves how much they hate her. And I want to get your take because you actually watch and bet on the WNBA. And, dude, she's 12th in the league in scoring this year. She's been hurt. She's missed like half the year. She's not on a good team. Yeah, she's popular. She's not having a great year. And okay, yeah, she scores 18 points a game. Good for her. Like, Collier scores 26. Like I said, like, she's 12th in the league in scoring. So for everybody panicking about how the players voted her 9th, like, she's not better than a Sabrina Ionescu is yet. Like, you know what I mean? I guess she's more popular. And, there's a difference, though. And it just sort of bothers me. Like, people, like, dismiss everybody else in the WNBA. They think, oh, Caitlin Clark should be, like, the number one player voted by the players. She's not the effing best player in the league, guys. What do you think, Dave?
I agree. So anytime, men or women, it doesn't matter what sport it is, anytime you have somebody new to the league or a rookie with all the hype as far as being supposed to be one of the, top players before they play a game, they're always going to have a target on their back and they're going to have to live up to it. And Caitlin Clark, though, she last season had a very nice season, but she came into this year as one of the favorites to be MVP, and not just one of the favorites to be MVP, but the Fever were one of the teams up there towards the leaders to contend for a WNBA title. In this particular season, she's missed a lot of games. She hasn't played many games on the road until recently, and since she's come back from injury, she has struggled. She was even listed to be out tonight. So there's not that many games in the WNBA season that they've even played so far. So when you've missed that many games, she's had a lot of, she's played smart and got her assist on days when her shooting's been off. But, yeah, I don't have a problem with her being ranked 9th at all. I mean, for someone on both sides to say, I would argue if they say you hate her, but if you actually pay attention, where would you rank her now? If you look at that top 8, who can you really put her ahead of when you look at what she's done this season and how many games she's missed? There's not much room to miss. I mean, it's almost equivalent if somebody plays an NBA season and, the first half of the season they play like 18 or 20 games. I mean, and then they struggle in half of those games. You can't be in the top 8.
The other one from the NBA today, WNBA today, was that Sophie Cunningham, who became popular because she's hot and she's on the Fever and she defended Caitlin Clark, so she got a million Instagram followers after or whatnot. This girl has the gall today to be criticizing the WNBA expansion. So they're expanding into Philadelphia and Detroit. So Philadelphia, Detroit, and Cleveland are getting and Cleveland are getting WNBA teams. And Sophie Cunningham goes, they really made a mistake. They should have put a team in Miami and Nashville, cities that people would actually want to go to and players that want to play. Girl, you play for the Indiana Fever, bro. Like what? Like seriously? No, like I couldn't believe this girl. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she's like, oh, I disagree. We shouldn't put a team. Like, she goes, no one wants to go to Philadelphia or Cleveland or Detroit. It's like, who the hell are you? And you're living in Indianapolis. Like, what are you talking about? Like, who the hell are you to be called out? Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, these WNBA girls, they're all just like, they should have like a movie, Mean Girls. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they all hate everything. They're all just mean. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this city. But I saw that. And I see they said, oh, WNBA superstar Sophie Cunningham. Like, she ain't no superstar. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she ain't a freaking star, okay? She's much of the star as those two blonde girls that play for the Miami Hurricanes and average 2 points a game. But all right, I'm done with that.
That was a good rant. I was
Sorry,
going to say one thing, too. Just quickly, the Miami can't get people when they're the best teams in any league. That's the whole thing. Remember the Heat? Like,
yeah, the Miami Heat can't draw. You think a WNBA team's going to draw there?
That is a bad argument. Oh, you want to go to Miami? What? And have 2 people at your game? It won't work there, lady. You don't know what you're talking about.
She wants to go to Miami to get a suntan. Like, she just wants to play in Miami.
Yeah, Cam, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, if they're not going to the Miami Heat games, Miami's a great place to be, but it's not the best sports city. You see how the Marlins have struggled down there? Yeah, I don't think that it's going to get supported very well by the WNBA. Correct. But more teams is always a good thing for the league.
Yeah. Oh, it should have been in Nashville or Miami. It's like, yeah, okay, Sophie, why don't you buy a team then? Put it in Miami. Yeah, like you said, you take your money.
And another thing, Nashville's a beautiful city. Nashville's a beautiful city, but look at the population in comparison to Philadelphia and Detroit. And you're going to need people to go to the damn games. Like, this is obviously an uneducated opinion by this woman here, Gabe. A lot of dumb stuff there.
Yeah, the owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers, who owns the WNBA team, told her to shut up. He goes, you don't know what you're talking about. You're an Ohio guy, Dave, so you know what I'm saying? You got to stand up for the C-Town here.
Yeah, go C-Town.
And sometimes those small towns, or smaller towns.
Oh, I told you guys Ohtani was going to hit a home run tonight. He just hit the home run. There it is.
Did he really? Wow, there it is.
Yeah.
Ring the bell.
30th home run for Ohtani. I said it before the game started. I said, why won't Ohtani hit a home run tonight? He's hitting a home run pretty much every day now. So there's his 30th home run of the season. 6-1 Dodgers right now. Getting closer and closer to my season total for Ohtani. Over 42.5 home runs. So he's at 30 now. Let's just, keep chipping away here. All right, so we got Dave Delano and us. Yeah, that's the key. I don't want to say it. Just that's the key, huh? See, because of him, look, they got Toyo tires, like ads in the back and stuff.
Oh, yeah, Toyo tires. Good tires.
Like they're cashing in the Dodgers on this. Yeah. They're cashing multiple countries, like advertising and stuff. It's just been a godsend. So I brought it up earlier with Pharrell. We were talking about SGA's contract. You know, SGA gets the contract extension. And SGA will make as much next year as the top 6 players in the NHL combined.
That's crazy.
Let's get down to business with the particulars. The Pittsburgh Steelers will get Jalen Ramsey into their defensive backfield. They'll get Jonnu Smith.
All this talk I'm hearing about they're going to trade TJ Watt, that's not happening either. Okay, so I don't think that's even remotely in the cards. All this talk today, he's next. I don't believe that. I think they're going to give him a new deal.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
I do believe that SJ now is the #1 player in the world. The things that he can do from the point of attack, offensively and defensively, his ability to drive downhill and score at all 3 levels. And the thing I like most about this young man at 26, he's so humble. He's so humble. And that speaks to the whole culture of OKC that Sam Presti and Mark Daigneault has built. Humble team, folks.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Will Aaron Judge be at the top of the home run board in MLB? What say you? Judge probably is going to hit 55, 58. Somewhere around there is his number there. So I'll say I'm going to buy this. And Aaron Judge will lead the major leagues in home runs this year. Listen, I'm not breaking news. I probably would take that every year. And when he plays, these next couple until he's getting up there in age, until his bat does start to slow down.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Kevin Durant, at the age of 36 years old, after 17 seasons that he has played in the NBA DRS, is now on his way to H-Town.
I don't think it's a great move. I wanted him to go to a ready-made championship team full of a veteran roster and see if he can ring chase that way. Not to go to an organization on the come-up that if you just stay the course, and also, what better blueprint do we have than just staying the course and okay, safe, right?
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Let's look at this in-game score here. It says California Storm women versus FC Davis women. I don't know my mind. I saw it. I'm like, California State Prison? I'm like, well, we're betting on prison leagues. You got prison soccer going on here. I said in my head, I saw California State Prison. I'm like, oh, California Storm. I'm like, oh, not State Prison. Against FC Davis women. This is a USA WPSL action. All right, so Dodgers up 6-1. Ohtani goes deep as we predicted he would. D-backs up 8-2 on the Giants right now. Astros up 6-4, going to the bottom of the ninth. Mariners trying to chip away. They're losing 5-3 right now in the bottom of the sixth. Anything catch your eye tomorrow, Dave Delano, on the Major League Baseball card?
Yeah, last game you mentioned there with the Mariners and the Royals. When you got a total of 7 tomorrow, I mean, Noah Cameron's pitched pretty well. I think that the Royals are a good side to take there, even just on the run line at minus 135. They don't have to win, but to keep it within a run, I think that price is a little bit crazy. I'm not going to overthink it with the Astros and Hunter Brown going up against the Rockies. I know that price is a little bit high, but still I think it has good value at the minus 1.5. That could be a play that you throw in with a parlay there. Maybe you parlay that with the Cubs on the money line to get a better price against the Guardians. Guardians have been, they have had mediocre metrics throughout the season. They were playing well. Now they've kind of hit a bit of a wall. Cubs hitting the ball much better. Cubs with the better bullpen. So I like the Cubs, just overall better team. And the Guardians aren't good in the field at all this year either. So they're having a step back. So that's what catches my eye tomorrow. And also that doubleheader, it gets tricky with Milwaukee and the Mets. We'll see if they switch that pitching matchup around. But I did like the Brewers today as an underdog. So if it's still on Peralta going, he's been a little inconsistent on the road, but very, very strong against the Mets in his career in this lineup. And the Brewers, they've been tearing the cover off the ball. Top offense in baseball over the last 15 games. Mets are struggling. Plus 115 for game 1 right now. I like the Brewers in that one as well.
Dodgers and White Sox once again tomorrow night game, 10 o'clock, 10:10 Eastern, first pitch. Clayton Kershaw against Burke tomorrow. Kershaw on the hill. He's been good, and he's getting better. Dodgers are minus 1.5, minus 150 right now. They're minus 315 on the money line. The total is 9 tomorrow night. Rick Saratello is going to join us in a couple of minutes. We're going to start talking football with Rick, and we're going to get into who's the worst team in the NFL going to be this year. And the Cleveland Browns, speaking of Ohio, Dave, I know you follow the Browns. The Browns are co-favorites to be the worst team in the National Football League this year, along with the New Orleans Saints and the New York Giants. Do you think the Cleveland Browns are going to be that bad? Are they going to be bad, where you legitimately think they're going to be the worst team in the National Football League this year?
I think they can, because if you look at the schedule, man, the first 7 games of that schedule are just absolutely brutal. And I think that it's going to be really tough. I think Flacco is probably going to start, but regardless, if the Browns are 2-6, it's hard to see them being better than 2-6 after those first 8 games. And at that point, I think we'll probably see Sanders and Gabriel at some point during the season. It'll be 2-6. Maybe get some coaching changes and then kind of go into tank mode at that point. A lot of people might be tanking for Manning.
And then add another quarterback next year.
Yeah,
you already
exactly.
have 5, so you'll be the worst team in the league. All right, we're going to draft Arch Manning now. It's like, all right, Sanders. All right, Gabriel. All right, Pickett. You all got to go.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, so if they get off to a slow start, it's hard to see them getting better at the end, and it's hard to see them getting off to a fast start. I'm thinking way ahead. I can see the Browns coming out and maybe covering that first game against the Bengals, and then it just going downhill. But when you look at that schedule, man, I really could see like a 1-6, a 1-7, 2-6 start. It's hard to – I mean, if they're 3-5, that would be a big positive. That NFL didn't do them any favors with the scheduling at all.
And the division's tough, right? Pittsburgh, we see that Pittsburgh are all in right now. Rodgers is in a good mood. They bring in Jalen Ramsey. They lose Fitzpatrick, but they bring in Ramsey and Jonnu Smith. You got to figure they'll get the TJ Watt stuff done. The Bengals offense is good. The Ravens are a super dangerous team. Yeah, it could be a long season for the Cleveland Browns this year. I think the Saints are going to be bad too. But, the Browns have some talent, but that division is a real killer. Hitthepick.com. Dave Delano, Get Sports Strong on X. Thanks, Dave.
Thanks.
let's get down to business with the particulars. The Pittsburgh Steelers will get Jalen Ramsey into their defensive backfield. They'll get Jonnu Smith.
All this talk I'm hearing about they're going to trade TJ Watt, that's not happening either. Okay, so I don't think that's even remotely in the cards. All this talk today, he's next. I don't believe that. I think they're going to give him a new deal.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
I do believe that SJ now is the number one player in the world. The things that he can do from the point of attack, offensively and defensively, his ability to drive downhill and score at all three levels. And the thing about I like most about this young man at 26, he's so humble. He's so humble. And that speaks to the whole culture of OKC that Sam Presti and Mark Daigneault has built. Humble team, folks.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Will Aaron Judge be at the top of the home run board in MLB? What say you? Judge probably is going to hit 55, 58. Somewhere around there is be his number there. So I'll say I'm going to buy this. And Aaron Judge will lead the major leagues in home runs this year. Listen, I'm not breaking news. I probably would take that every year. And when he plays these next couple until he's getting up there in age, until his bat does start to slow down.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Kevin Durant, at the age of 36 years old, after 17 seasons that he has played in the NBA DRS, is now on his way to H-Town.
I don't think it's a great move. I wanted him to go to a ready-made championship team full of a veteran roster and see if he can ring chase that way. Not to go to an organization on the come-up that if you just stay the course, and also, what better blueprint do we have than just staying the course and okay, safe, right?
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
The Twisted Tuesday continues. This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency. The pitch, the players, the hustlers, the people that bust them, the Rick Saratellas, and everybody else in between. Let's do this thing. As the countdown continues, we are now officially just 65 days away from the start of the National Football League regular season, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are getting ready for the regular season right now, and Rick Saratella was born ready for the regular season. AllAccessFootball.com doing this NFL team previews right now on a daily basis. College football rapidly approaching. Week 5 CFL, but let's kick things off with some NFL football. Rick Saratella, how you doing, Rick?
Gabe, hey, happy Canada Day. Happy All-In Day to all the Steelers Nation. Here we go now.
Well, that's what it looks like, doesn't it? They got Aaron Rodgers. He says this is probably my last year, but if he plays well, it won't be his last year. That's my opinion. But it does appear as though the Pittsburgh Steelers are looking at this and thinking, why not? Let's do this now. What did you think of bringing in Jalen Ramsey, Jonnu Smith, but they do lose Minka Fitzpatrick?
Gabe, it kind of reminds me of, remember Brett Favre? He went on a exodus to New York for a year or two. He was terrible, and then he had that final year in Minnesota. They really gave it a pretty good run, but you thought Favre was shot. He looked like a shot quarterback in New York, but then he actually had a defense and a pretty good team around him in Minnesota, and I'm starting to see that kind of come together in Pittsburgh. I mean, you talk about what Omar Khan has done and the players he has acquired, and you mentioned Ramsey and Jonnu Smith, and I'll throw
DK
in
Metcalf. Let's not forget they brought in DK Metcalf.
How about Darius Slay, the in-state rival from Philadelphia, brings a championship pedigree. I thought it was a
you're right, Rick.
addition.
They're so loaded. They're so loaded in the secondary now. They could play Ramsey in the slot. They're talking about they've got pieces now back there.
Yeah, and and I love if you remember, Metcalf and Ramsey got into it with the head slap. It was reminiscent of Rice and Dion, and now they're going to be practicing together, raising the level of intensity, and maybe, just maybe, Aaron Rodgers is in the right place at the right time in his career. And if they catch lightning in a bottle, like Minnesota, if you remember, that Vikings team was a play away from going on to the Super Bowl. I think Pittsburgh has something here. I really do. Now, they're in a tough division but they're going to be in just about every game. Now, I know that if you look at their schedule, oh my God. I mean, the schedule makers they probably have the last 10 games of the year are probably the toughest of any team in the league, but their first 8 weeks are about as easy as cake.
Yeah, the Steelers, they're going to need to go like 4-1 in the first 5 weeks to get this thing going because it is brutal after about week 6, week 7 or so. But actually share your optimism about this right now. Look, they've won 10 games in the past 2 seasons, back-to-back, 20 games with mediocre quarterback play as well. I like you. I thought it was a disaster in New York. I knew it was going to be a disaster in New York. But the difference was there, Aaron Rodgers was the kingpin. He was running things. His ego was big. He's calling the shots. This is different. He was humbled there. And as you stated, like he doesn't want to end his career like this. Like, you know what I mean? And people thinking about how, you know, from a football perspective, he's got to get something on the way out here. And I'm with you as well. I can sense his seriousness about just playing football right now. Like watching him and feeling him, seeing him like talk on to Pat McAfee, and that's as honest as he's going to be with anyone, really. He talks about loving Tomlin and the culture of the Steelers, right? Like basically don't screw it up. Just show up, throw the football. They're putting pieces around him right now. As you stated, that division is tough. Baltimore's the team to beat. What do you think about Cincinnati right now? I mean, they really didn't address that defense very much. They're kind of the same football team.
Well, you know, I think Cincinnati, like when you're poorly run from up top and you have poor ownership, it's called the trickle-down effect. Poor leadership leads to poor product onto the field. And so, like, when you see guys like Trey Hendrickson getting disrespected the way that he has been, Shamar Stewart, like, you don't want to give him what every other rookie in the NFL has. Like, that's a bad look. And that's when players tap out. And that's why it's no surprise, like, Cincinnati always starts in a hole because it's a mental thing. It's poor preparation, poor performance, poor preparation. The Cincinnati Bengals, like, they have all the talent in the world. They're like, roster spot for roster spot, they're as good as anybody in the league. They got terrible leadership, and that's their problem. So I actually like Pittsburgh over Cincinnati. Baltimore is going to be the team to beat there.
Pittsburgh's win total was lingering in the 7.5 range, but it was always shaded to the over. It's minus 180 right now, 7.5. So them to get to 8 games, 8.5 right now is plus 100. So it's sort of going to settle in at 8.5. But as we stated, we all know that, you know, in 18 years, Mike Tomlin's never had a losing record before. He's never won less than 8 football games before. He won 10 last year, 10 the year before, and it was 9 the year before that. So, you know, the track record definitely is there. All right, so as I mentioned, Rick Saratel, allaccessfootball.com. Go to where you can subscribe and get the newsletter and the daily updates and the breakdowns. And I know you're doing the NFL team breakdowns right now, and I saw, incidentally, just by chance, the last couple of days, you're doing some bad football teams, the Saints, the Browns. And I saw that, and I'm like, you know, it's funny because the Saints, the Browns, and the New York Giants are all favorites in the NFL to have the worst record in the league this year at plus 550, guys. So the Saints, the Browns, and the Giants, I don't see it that way. So you've been breaking down these rosters. I don't think the Giants are as bad as the New Orleans Saints are, in my opinion.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, Gabe. And nobody's come on the show and bashed the Giants more than I have over the last 5 years, probably. But I'll tell you what, there is some sense of optimism, and for very good reason, because I have them, I think, 22nd in my power ranking. So, like what you say, we're doing bad football teams. We're doing 32 teams in 32 days, counting you down to the Pro Football Hall of Fame game in Canton. So, yeah, New Orleans, to me, the worst team in football. Cleveland Browns, the second worst team in football. The New York Giants, I don't think are in that same category. I think the Giants may actually, like, you can state an argument that they have the best defensive line in the National Football League. They're right up there. I mean, who's better than them? So they're going to have a good defense. I think they've gotten the offensive line significantly better. We've been saying that for, it feels like a decade. We shall see. They've actually got some options now on the offense. Like, they've got a legitimate playmaker in Neighbors. They've got some options in the backfield. We saw flashes from Tyrone Tracy, Cam Scatterbo. Like, I think Dallas might actually be the worst team in the NFC East.
Interesting, as the New York Giants do have a lot of young talent right now. How long will it take for this thing to come together? You know, Russell Wilson talked about, you can't wait to play with neighbors, but you can just sort of feel it, Rick. And I'm not there, but I used to pass it daily going into to FanDuel, and I could feel the dark cloud over the practice field with the Giants. I could sort of see the body language. I'd stop and look sometimes, and I'd be like, man, it's just a depressing complex, man. Like, it's just there's something about it. But how about Jackson Dart? I know he's not going to play right away, but he's got a little bit of a swagger. And when there's a bunch of young guys that people actually believe they're actually going to be good, it changes the culture in the building a little bit, I think, Rick. And you can sort of see that with the Giants in their minicamp.
There's an excitement. There's a definite feel of a different competition.
And enthusiasm suddenly. You got enthusiastic guys, right? Like, you know what I mean? Cam and Scotabo is enthusiastic. Jackson, enthusiastic. Neighbor suddenly sees, hey, I got Russell Wilson here, right? We got Jackson Dart in the wings here, right? Like, at least, you know what I mean? If this isn't, I'm looking at, Tommy Pizza and Danny Jones here and stuff like that. Rick Saratella kicking out. And the Saints guys, I think, want to be bad. I think the Saints would like to get Arch Manning, right? So I don't think the Saints want to be good. Will they trade Kamara? We'll get Rick's thoughts on that on the other side. And we'll get you some more odds as well as far as the worst teams in the National Football League. And we'll hit Week 5 of the CFL. The Twisted Tuesday, a Canada Day edition continues. This is SportsRage. Bring it.
Let's get down to business with the particulars. The Pittsburgh Steelers will get Jalen Ramsey into their defensive backfield. They'll get Jonnu Smith.
All this talk I'm hearing about they're going to trade TJ Watt, that's not happening either. Okay, so I don't think that's even remotely in the cards. All this talk today, he's next. I don't believe that. I think they're going to give him a new deal.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
I do believe that SJ now is the #1 player in the world. The things that he can do from the point of attack, offensively and defensively, his ability to drive downhill and score at all three levels. And the thing I like most about this young man at 26, he's so humble. He's so humble. And that speaks to the whole culture of OKC that Sam Presti and Mark Daigneault has built. Humble team, folks.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Will Aaron Judge be at the top of the home run board in MLB? What say you? Judge probably is going to hit 55, 58. Somewhere around there is be his number there. So I'll say I'm going to buy this. And Aaron Judge will lead the major leagues in home runs this year. Listen, I'm not breaking news. I probably would take that every year. And when he plays this next couple until he's getting up there in age, until his bat does start to slow down.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Kevin Durant, at the age of 36 years old, after 17 seasons that he has played in the NBA DRS, is now on his way to H-Town.
I don't think it's a great move. I wanted him to go to a ready-made championship team full of a veteran roster and see if he can ring chase that way. Not to go to an organization on the come-up that if you just stay the course, and also, what better blueprint do we have than just staying the course than OKC, right?
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, we're kicking it with Rick Saratella. Let's do this thing. I am Gabriel Morency, SportsGrid Radio and Television Network. Man, time always flies when we talk football. Now 65 days away from the start of the National Football League regular season. And just quickly to recap what we were just talking about a couple of minutes ago, who's going to be the worst team in the National Football League? This is relevant, too, because Rick's a draft guy, talking about who's going to be the top pick of the draft. And hypothetically, maybe it could be Arch Manning. Arch Manning could stay in college as well. We don't know. Right, let's see how this plays out. But obviously, for the New Orleans Saints, getting Arch Manning would be a generational, franchise-changing situation. Like, say, you guys just can't put into perspective how big the Mannings are in the state of Louisiana, and what just the Saints are such a unique organization as well, as far as the city just freaking loving them, right? Like, so I think the Saint fans would accept being bad, Rick, if they knew Arch Manning was at the end of this rainbow.
Well, you think about the impact reflecting back on the selection of Reggie Bush. That was almost like the first domino to fall. Like after Katrina, they won that Super Bowl. Like it would be even more magical.
You're right, generational player, Reggie Bush. Good call.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what.
At the time, didn't turn out to be an NFL Hall of Famer, but did win a Super Bowl.
But looking back at it, just what it meant to the city at the time, and yeah, he didn't actually fulfill the hype, but he did play a key role, integral role in that Super Bowl run. But I'll tell you one thing. 5.5 over/under win total. I mean, it'll be a miracle if the Saints win 4 games. So, I mean, I think this is like an under you just got to hammer all day long. I don't know what Vegas is smoking, but pass it over here, Chief.
I agree with you. I don't see how. Like last year, I felt the same way about Carolina. I was like, there's no way in hell this team's winning 6 games, people. And I feel the exact same way this year about the Saints. And let me repeat, guys, the Saints don't mind being bad. Kellen Moore's not on the clock. They want Kellen Moore to be the coach. Tyler Shock isn't going to be the future quarterback there. They're buying time. They're just going to sort of, will they trade Kamara? I don't know. Like, they probably should. I don't know if he wants to. He seems to be happy there, but it would make sense for him. You would figure, right?
Like Cam Jordan collected $30 million over the last 2 years. They got 6 sacks out of him. Like Kamara, like the whole core nucleus of this Saints team has just got to go, and they haven't gutted the roster yet. So this is just really like a trial and error season for Kellen Moore to find his guys and find his way. First-year head coach.
CFL Week 5 as we kick it with Rick Saratella. I am Gabriel Morency. So the wheels keep turning. Hard to believe we're already in Week 5 right now. The disappointing thing for me so far to CFL this year is just the fact that 4 of the 9 starting quarterbacks are injured. And we've seen there's a big drop-off between the starting quarterbacks and the backup quarterbacks in any league, but it's really affecting teams right now. And I don't know if it's fully fair to judge them because they don't have a lot of their top players, and not just quarterbacks. There have been a lot of injuries, but the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, no excuses for that football team. It doesn't matter. Who cares who our quarterback is? What, Olivier is out at running back? Don't worry about it. Next man up. The Bombers are just a deep, good football team. They seem to be on a mission, too, this year, Rick. They've been to like 5 Grey Cups, and, there's 5 years. They've only won 2 of them. The Grey Cup is in Winnipeg this year. The Bombers really do feel like they're on a mission this year. They're 3.5-point road favorites in Calgary on Thursday night, Rick. And Stampeders have put a lot of work into this football game. They created something called the Stampede Bowl for this rivalry. They made a very nice trophy. It's a really cool trophy, guys. It's like badass. Looks like a badass bowl game trophy. So they got this Stampede Bowl. The Calgary Stampede is one of the biggest events in the rodeo world and all that. They have 1 million visitors. They got Bret Michaels of Poison playing at halftime. So I encourage people, if you're in the Calgary area, no excuses not to go see a football game and Bret Michaels for like $40. Right? Good game on Thursday. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, I mean, Bret Michaels is always hanging out down by Fremont Street, by the way. But I'll tell you, they come back. I think they play July 3rd, and then they come back on July 18th. There's a bye week, but it's a home at home. And I went back and forth on this game, but because of the Stampede week, the momentum, the atmosphere, we talked about it. Like, I think Calgary is the real deal, and I think they're good enough to split this season series with Winnipeg. So I'm going to take Calgary at home this week, and then on the come around, I'm going to go Winnipeg. These are 2 evenly matched teams, but give me Calgary at home to knock off, I think, the undefeated. Are they 3-0? Winnipeg?
Yeah, they're 3-0. Yeah, they beat the Lions twice in Edmonton, so they're winning games in the division. The Argos finally got their first win. Ottawa just can't move the ball with Dustin Crum at quarterback. This should be a higher scoring game. No, Hamilton, an impressive win against the Alouettes. The Alouettes offense struggled with Bethel Thompson. Yeah. But to be, truth be told, their defense struggled as well. which was uncharacteristic. Give credit to Hamilton. They just nickeled and dimed them all day, and it worked. Montreal just got, 7 yards here, 5 yards there. They got frustrated. So, Bo Levi Mitchell did a good job of getting rid of the ball quickly. This is another big game. The Argos trying to get back on track here. They're 1.5-point favorites, total 52.5. BC's in trouble right now. They're getting 5.5 in Montreal on Saturday night, Rick. And then Sunday night, I think the Elks need to win this game. And I think this is a game they can win against Ottawa. What do you think? We got about a minute and a half here.
Yeah, I like Hamilton. They got the momentum coming. Toronto short week. I think they go in there and steal the W. Montreal, I think whether it's McLeod, Bethel Thompson, or Davis Alexander, I think Montreal covers easily. I'd like them. That's the best play this week. And then, Edmonton, you got to monitor the quarterback situation, who's in, who's out. Drew Brown, whether he plays or not, I think Geno Lewis comes into town and gets revenge. Give me Ottawa on the road outright to win the game.
Drew Brown's not a superstar, but I tell you what, the Ottawa Red Blacks are screwed without him. And they're a completely different football team when he's on the field than he isn't. You can only run the football with Dustin Crum so many times. It's a 110-yard field, guys. It's hard to scramble. It's hard to scramble your way all the way down the field. Rick Saratella, allaccessfootball.com, founder of the NFL Draft Bible. Let's do this thing. The countdown continues. Bring it.
Let's get down to business with the particulars. The Pittsburgh Steelers will get Jalen Ramsey into their defensive backfield. They'll get Jonnu Smith.
All this talk I'm hearing about they're going to trade TJ Watt, that's not happening either. Okay, so I don't think that's even remotely in the cards. All this talk today, he's next. I don't believe that. I think they're going to give him a new deal.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
I do believe that SJ now is the #1 player in the world. The things that he can do from the point of attack, offensively and defensively, his ability to drive downhill and score at all three levels. And the thing I like most about this young man at 26, he's so humble. He's so humble. And that speaks to the whole culture of OKC that Sam Presti and Mark Daigneault has built. Humble team, folks.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Will Aaron Judge be at the top of the home run board in MLB? What say you? Judge probably is going to hit 55, 58. Somewhere around there is be his number there. So I'll say I'm going to buy this. And Aaron Judge will lead the major leagues in home runs this year. Listen, I'm not breaking news. I probably would take that every year. And when he plays, this next couple until he's getting up there in age, until his bat does start to slow down.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Kevin Durant, at the age of 36 years old, after 17 seasons that he has played in the NBA DRS, is now on his way to H-Town.
I don't think it's a great move. I wanted him to go to a ready-made championship team full of a veteran roster and see if he can ring chase that way. Not to go to an organization on the come-up that if you just stay the course, and also, what better blueprint do we have than just staying the course and safe, right?
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, we're to the home stretch right now. Dodgers up 6-1 after 6 in Los Angeles over the White Sox. Quick check right now to FIFA Club World Cup. The final 8 is now set. So Friday afternoon, 3 o'clock Eastern, Fluminense from the Brazilian League, plus 170 against Al Hilal from the Saudi Arabian League. We just saw Al Hilal with the upset last night against Man City. And it was an upset. Man City were like minus 400 on the money line. But it should be noted, Al Hilal's salary cap payroll is $176 million. Like, they are a big spending team. They're one of these high-powered Saudi teams. But they got players. Their goalie's awesome. He's from Montreal. But Bono, he's Montreal, but he plays for Morocco's national team. It's too bad he isn't the goalie for Team Canada. Team Canada would lose less than they do. But it's a toss-up. But I think Al Hilal could go far now, actually. So Al Hilal are actually slight favorites at plus 150. Fluminense are plus 170. The draw is plus 250. Palmeiras from the Brazilian league. They got two teams in the final 8 take on Chelsea. We'll be on live Friday night, a 4th of July special. We're going to be on 2 hours earlier than normal, guys, from 8 o'clock until midnight Friday night, 4th of July. So we'll be on 9 o'clock Eastern, Palmeiras and Chelsea. Palmeiras plus 280, Chelsea plus 100, draw plus 240. And then the heavyweights play on Saturday at noon, PSG versus Bayern Munich. PSG plus 120, Bayern Munich plus 210, draw plus 260. Real Madrid were minus 143. Couple of minutes ago, it's up to minus 163 right now against Dortmund. Dortmund plus 375, draw plus 333. Tomorrow we got Gold Cup action and an unlikely Final Four. USA versus Guatemala. Guatemala just knocked off Canada in penalty kicks. USA knocked off Costa Rica in penalty kicks. It doesn't seem to make sense, right? USA and Mexico should roll Guatemala and Honduras respectively tomorrow, but we've seen in this tournament, man, almost every game just goes to, like, penalty kicks. And they don't do extra time yet. They do extra time in the final. So it goes right to penalty kicks after 90 minutes. The draw is plus 425 in USA, Guatemala, and the draw is plus 400 in Mexico and Honduras. I think it's worth a shot in the dark, just rolling the dice with both draws. And if you hit one of them, you're still showing a profit. And speaking of the international scene, we've got Wimbledon in the morning. Taylor Fritz, Cam, is a minus 334 favorite against Diallo. Diallo plus 250. Alcaraz, that's at like noon Eastern estimated time. Alcaraz is up at like 10 in the morning estimated time tomorrow, but he's a massive favorite against Tarvit. You like anything in Wimbledon in the morning?
Yes, Gabe, I have a 4-match parlay for you. It pays plus 130. Ben Shelton to beat Hijikata. Alex de Minaur to beat Cizot. Taylor Fritz. I hate to go against the Canadian Gabriel Diallo, but Fritz is going to win this match, I think. And Rublev over Harris. 4-game parlay, 4-player parlay, plus 130. Let's do it.
What? Oh, 4 players. Yeah, our boy Felix Auger-Aliassime is up at 9:30 in the morning.
I don't trust him.
Against Jan-Lennard Struff. Jan-Lennard. You see that? Yeah, but it's the type of match that Felix will win. Like, Felix is pretty good at getting to, like, the 16 group at least type thing. You know what?
I'll do another parlay with him, Gabe, but I don't want the parlay buster to be a Canadian to bust this Canadian up. But he has lost before, but yeah, you're right. He should win the match, but Struff's no clown. That's what I'm just saying. He's a respectable tennis player.
So that's the men's action. And as far as the Wimbledon women, Leylah Fernandez, actually. So there's the parlay. Leylah Fernandez and Felix. Yeah, this has like disappointment written all over it, but I'm going to do it.
The Canadian parlay.
Between the two of them.
Oh, here we go.
That's the Montreal special. They're both from Montreal, too. So like Felix Auger and Leylah Fernandez. Same thing. Leylah's really good like earlier in these tournaments. She hits a wall when she has to play like a top 10, top 20 player. But the Montreal special, they're both from Montreal. Leylah Fernandez and Felix Auger-Aliassime parlay together is minus 134. I'd prefer if it like turned into a little bit of plus money here because, like we said, between the two of them, one of them could disappoint us. But
for sure,
I'm not going to go crazy on it. But there's the Montreal special, my hometown special.
I got
Leylah Fernandez and Felix.
There's another one, minus 154. Keys, Leylah Fernandez, and Sabalenka. Like, the only problem with that could be Fernandez, minus 154, Gabe. I like that.
Sabalenka will probably win this tournament. All right, we'll see you on the Wicked Wednesday. Other than that, you're on your own later.